Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening to you, wherever you may be. This is By Hook or By Needles. I am Sam, and today we are going to learn how to do the seed stitch, which is alternating knit stitch and purl stitch, but not in the way that we have columns of them, which creates a ribbing, but in alternating each row. So we're not, we're alternating each stitch, but we're also alternating each row. Now I'm just going to quickly do a cast on, which I showed you yesterday. Hopefully you've been practicing. So we're just going to get our stitch on there, going to hold it, and I'm just going to do a knit stitch, and then come back over here and do the purl stitch. Knit stitch, whoops, purl stitch, whoops, purl stitch, oh, knit, whoops, knit stitch. Don't you love it when your instructor goes, oops, purl stitch, knit, purl, knit, purl, knit, purl. If you need help with either the knit part or the purl part, I will link in the description the videos for both of these. That'll be yesterday's video and a cast on 3 ways video. So hang on, knit, purl, 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 knit. Just want to make sure I'm at the right one. Knit and purl, knit and purl. Okay, it's probably 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 19. Do another knit. So that should be 20. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20. And if we're going to do our perfect edges, we would add 3. I'm not going to worry about the perfect edges right now because I think that might just confuse matters. So we're just going to go straight into the seed stitch. So you can see we've got a purl bump. So we need to purl the first stitch. Okay, so we just purl that first stitch. And therefore we knit the second. Purl the third. I started this off wrong. Knit. Purl. Knit. And interestingly, this is exactly the same way that the moss stitch starts out. You just knit one, purl one, all the way across. This is ideal, both this moss seed stitch and the moss stitch, which I'll be showing you in a few days or whenever I get around to it, are both ideal because for scarves, shawls, or anything like that, because they actually are reversible. So, you know, they will look the same on both sides. This last stitch is a knit. Okay. When we turn it around, we can see now there's a purl bump there because our last stitch was a knit. Let's see if that will focus better. No. Come on. No. It's going to be painful, isn't it? It's going to be annoying. There we go. So we can see the purl bump, the knit V, the purl bump. So the last stitch was a knit going this way. So coming back this way, even though it's telling us it's a purl stitch, we're going to knit. With seed stitch, you knit the purl stitches and you purl the knit stitches. And that's all it is. So you knit the purl stitches and then you purl the knit stitches. You can see that's a V, that's a knit stitch, therefore it's a V, which is a knit stitch. So therefore I'm going to purl it. Yarn to the back. This is a purl bump, so therefore I'm going to knit it. Bring my yarn forward. This is a knit stitch, so I'm going to purl it. Yarn to the back. Once again, bump, purl bump, but I'm going to knit it. And this is how we do the seed stitch. We do the opposite of what the stitches are telling us to do. Hang on. That's a knit stitch. What am I doing? Yeah, knit stitch. That's what happens when I talk and knit at the same time. So, and in this way we get an alternate sort of stitch, and it doesn't curl, so you don't get any of the dreaded stockinette curl. So it lays nice and flat, and it can be very decorative if you are using a variegated yarn as well. It's one of the, you know, a good stitch for variegated yarn, or, you know, with a short variegate, you know, short colour change, or even a long colour change. It'll be sort of stripy, but it'll be, you know, a long colour change will work as well. And as you can see, as you see here, it will work for a solid colour as well. So the last one is that we just did a knit, so the last one is the purl. Okay, so our last stitch was a purl stitch. So when we turn to go back, it looks like a knit stitch now at the front because that's the nature of the stitch. Whatever you did on this side, you do the opposite on this side. So you can sort of already see it's, you know, you get this sort of alternating, just trying to see if I can get this focused in better. Is that better? Yes, I think that's better. You can get this sort of alternating purl bump, goes up and down, and that's your pattern. So we're just doing the, once again, we're doing the opposite of what we see. And this is where reading your stitches or being able to read your stitches will come in handy. So this is a knit stitch. We can see that because we can see a V. So we're going to purl it. We're not going to knit it like we normally would. We're going to purl it. We're going to put a yarn to the back. We can see purl bump. Normally, you know, if we were knitting stockinette, or if we were knitting, stockinette, we would purl it, but we're not. We're going to knit it. We're going to do the opposite to what we normally would think of to do. But also, you know, once you've started, you can just tell yourself, knit one, purl one, knit one, purl one. If you start off on the correct stitch, then it's just a matter of telling yourself, knit one, purl one. You know, you put the yarn back, you do a knit stitch. You bring the yarn forward. Yes, it's a purl stitch, but it's a purl stitch you've got to do, but it's in a knit stitch. And then you just go back and forth like that. And this is a seed stitch. It is just pretty much the same. I suppose you could almost call it a 1-row repeat, but because you're just sort of, the instructions being knit the purl stitches and purl the knit stitches, and that's the, pattern design. That's my cat. Can you hear my cat grumbling? She's having a real old grumble. It's cooled down a lot here today. Okay, so knit stitch, we're going to purl it. Purl stitch, we're going to knit it. And like I said, this is really, really ideal for, scarves, anything you want to lay flat that is by itself. So there you can see it's really starting to sort of develop its pattern of lots of little sort of alternating bumps. You can see a bump there, bump up here, bump down there, bump, 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 bump. So they sort of go up and down, up and down. And on the other side, you can see the same. I'll do one more row, and then, actually, no, I'll pause. I'll do a few more rows and come back and show you what the seed stitch looks like when we've done a bit more of it. Okay, here you can see I've added, 5 rows. And you can see clearly now what the pattern that emerges is, both reversible, and it's very what's the word I'm thinking of? Understated, mild. It's not a really sort of drastic design that's going to make you say this is male or female. It's a unisex. It's reversible. And I think I really like it. I really like the seed stitch and the moss stitch, which I will be showing you in another video soon. They are different. A lot of people think they're the same. They are very different, slightly different. But if you can do the seed stitch, you can do the moss stitch, which will be coming up shortly. I'm just trying to find some time to I'll have to find some time to get that done, because I've got a few other things that I do need to put my mind to, like jumpers and baby clothes and socks and oh my goodness, there's too much. But yeah, it's a pretty little stitch. It's understated. That's the word I was thinking. It's an understated pattern, but it's still, I think attractive. So there you go. That is a seed stitch. I might even try and do, excuse me, moss stitch. No, maybe I shouldn't if I can't even say stitch properly today. I might try and do the moss stitch straight away, just so that it's done and out of the way. But it is, like I say, relatively easy and very much, very similar, but different. Okay, enough of that. Take care, everybody. I will see you next time when I teach you how to do the moss stitch. Well, I won't see you. I'll see you the knitters next time when I'm teaching you the moss stitch. The crocheters and sock knitters I'll see probably sooner. I do have a knitting project, a crochet project that I am trying to tackle. My Ladufo, which is long overdue unfinished object. #Ladufo. We've all got one. But anyway, I'll catch you later. Take care, everybody. Bye.